welcome to Real Topics. I'm Jean Curtis, and today we're going to be talking about sister sorority. All right, now we're talking about sisterhood values, okay? You know, I don't know if we've ever had sisterhood values, to be honest, not in my generation. What I mostly see is a division between women. A lot of times women don't build each other up like we should. You know, we're constantly tearing each other down, and it sucks to have your confidence just stripped away from you by your sister, because there's no one like women who know how to tear us down. We know we can, in one sentence, we can tear each other down and build each other up all at the same time. So today we're going to talk about that those values ever really exist. And if not, how can we, start to love one another?
Right.
So I'm going to start with you, Ione. In your opinion, are women in general divisive of one another?
Yes.
Meaning we tear each other down, we cause division,
Yes, we do.
disagreements? Or are we upholding great citizens?
Not at all. Never. And I say that because, women, we tend to hold in a lot of animosity towards each other. We begrudge a lot.
Yes.
And then we deny that we're even having these emotions. That's one of our biggest downfalls, is that we do not acknowledge what we feel.
I ain't thinking about her. I don't care what she's saying. I ain't even worried about it. But yet they're cutting their eyes.
Yeah, and you're talking about it for 3 days. And it's just awful the way that we take this burden upon ourselves to make sure that we're spot checking if her purse is real, is her hair real, that her husband is cheating on her. We do all of these things instead of saying, hey, sis, are you okay?
Right.
What's going on? Do you want to talk?
Yes.
And, trust me, I won't go back and, tell everybody what you said. We can't even have that security.
We don't. I don't have that many friends, to be honest. I have a small circle of female friends. I'm happy with that. And I'm happy with that because I associate with so many people that I see, what really happens. I mean, you can, it's almost disgusting in my opinion. So, Felicia, I want to ask you, do you feel that men or television contribute to the way we treat each other?
A couple of things. One, my mother used to tell me, if you got one good friend, you got a lot.
Yeah,
so that was there. And two, I won't say in my generation, because you said you didn't think sisterhood was there. I think sisterhood is there. It depends on the people you pick. Depends on the choices you make. And
but
I
do
think
you feel that men and television contributes
to
the
no,
way we
I don't,
treat each
because well, I can only take it back from my background, and TV is there to entertain me only. So that's entertaining, whether it's good, a good vision, a good view or a bad view. It's for entertainment. I know I'm gonna walk away, and that I'm not gonna let that affect me. And I know some television can be very influential to some people, but I guess I say that because I'm a performer myself, so I know what they're doing. They're doing their job and they're leaving. So no, I don't think so. I think some women need to, instead of worrying about other people, worry about themselves first. Work on their self-esteem, because a lot of women don't have really good self-esteem.
And that's
to me
so
is paramount.
Yeah. I honestly, I do feel like television and men play a big role, big part, especially television. I mean, if you look at a lot of these shows, and I don't need to name them all, but the fights are just ridiculous.
Okay, you must be talking about reality shows.
I'm reality and
they
television.
do a lot of that.
No, movies in general.
I mean,
they always have us competing and combating against one another. There's a show that's based on women fighting. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. But
What
I
show
mean,
is
it
that?
goes back to, go ahead, the show.
What show is that?
We're not going to be fooled by anyone. No, but it goes back to even in the 50s, daytime television. I mean, look at it. It was always the drama was created on television there, and it just perpetuated in real life. There was someone whose husband was always unfaithful. It was always these images of, you know, the backstabbing neighbor or the sister who was, you know, did whatever she wanted, you know, could do to get the family fortune. I mean, these images have been burned in our head.
How does men play a role in it?
Oh, men are always the cause of it. I mean, honestly, why do two women usually fight? It's over a man.
That's true.
But they allow that, you know. I think that she's right. Men is always the cause of it, but you can't allow that because that man's saying something to you, to her, to me. They sing in the same song. We can't fight each other. We need to fight his behind because he messing up.
But you
That's
know what? When you're a
true,
little girl and you're 5, 6 years old and you see your father out there playing games, this is your perception of what love is and how to get attention.
You can't always recognize it. I mean, that's true. But we as the mothers need to teach our little girls from the very beginning not to even let this behavior begin in their mind. So, I mean, it always trickles back. I mean, there's some type of common cause to it. But, you know, in the end, it's up to us as women to stop this cycle.
It is.
I mean, we have to be the ones to recognize when we do it, admit when we do it, and then, you know, atone for when we do it. So, you know, that's just my opinion. Don't get mad at me, but if you're one that does, you know, act that way, you know who you are.
In your opinion, do you feel like women demand a lot of respect but don't give the same to other women?
I do feel that is true in some cases.
You're going to respect my marriage or you're going to respect my children.
I mean, that is true in some cases, but a lot of times we don't demand enough respect, which is also the cause of why this behavior continues. I mean, it's so convoluted because, you know, there's always some kind of factor to it. But we as women, we often are quick to be victimized. We victimize each other. We victimize situations. I mean, we don't always have the stance to be those warrior women who say, yes, you know, I'm going to take control of this and I'm going to do it. So, you know, I think that a lack of unity among women is the reason why we have that orange man in the White House. I feel like a lack of unity among women is a great reason why so many of these daytime TV shows are so popular because we love to watch each other's misery.
We do. I agree. Felicia, how do you feel about what she said?
You know what? I guess I may be living in my own kind of bubble, but I like to be positive. You know, I like to be positive. I'm come from a fact. Where I come from, there's positivity. You say what you mean, you do it, and then you move on. You have to move on from it. That's number one. Number two, it all boils down to women and their confidence. If you allow people to do things to you, you allow the men. Man do something you don't like, you nip it in the bud the first time he does it. Girlfriend does something like, you know what, I ain't like that. So, you know what, either we going to fix this or we're going to go our separate ways. Only because if they do something that you don't like, if that's the problem. Someone does something you don't like, and you just let it go and go and go until it festers and sores, turns to a big old thing. But then when it turns to a big old thing and you talk about it, then you move on from it. If you don't say anything, and I think women, you know, I happen to be around a lot of strong women, and I like that. I don't like being around women who don't have a backbone, who are always saying victimized. It's like, okay, there are times in our life we're victimized, but after that, you have to get over it. It has to end somewhere. You got to bring that positivity back in your life.
You're very black and white, which is a great thing. But most people tend to live in this gray area. This is why we're having this subject, because not everyone is so positive. Not everyone has that confidence that you have, unfortunately. So what are some ways that we can bring this sisterhood and, you know, those values of sister sorority back into our lives?
Well, we have to encourage each other, number one. We definitely have to recognize when each other have issues that we're going through in our lives. I think that, again, one of the biggest things that we need to do is talk to each other. not talk about each other or talk at each other, but talk to each other. I mean, say a prayer for your sister. I mean, you don't have to, be loud about it and say, I'm going to pray for you, girl. Just pray for her. Just,
I'm going to pray for you, girl.
I don't take it back to this level. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
Well,
all right?
It's going to be a lot of quiet.
Keep your mouth. That's right.
I think it's not so many. I guess maybe I'm living in a different world, but I don't have that so many people being like that in my life, and I think there are probably other women out there who don't have all of that thing. Because if you are sure in who you are, when you wake in the morning, you need to have a mantra. I am beautiful. If you got that that will ooze out, and people will see that, and it'll become infectious.
Yes.
And then talk to God. Me and God are like this.
Talk to God and talk to people. Don't be afraid to tell people how you feel. Because a lot of times we hold all this bitterness and angry. We're just, and it comes out. It eventually comes out in some type of way. And a lot of times people don't even recognize it, or they don't even realize that they are angry. So talking to people is another thing we can do to, try and, I guess, get those sisterhood values back. Talking to people, being confident in yourself, like you were saying. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, just don't say nothing.
I think it starts from here first. You got to know you and have what's inside you. Whatever you've got going on in your life, you have to make sure that's settled and taken care of. Because you can't be a good friend to anybody if your stuff is messy.
That's right.
And women could be messy, but messy women, you just have to stay back. When they got their mess together, that's when you could go, okay, I'm going to hang out with you.
And I believe some women will remain messy until the day they die. Some people are not going to make
They're going to be messy. They are. They're going to be messy. But the rest of us, we're so beyond that. Yes. And then with age, it changes too.
That's true. That's true. Well,
it's nothing
that's
like an old mess.
For Real Topics. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us your thoughts and comments, and we will see you later.
Subscribe.
Bye.